Hi Aries, and welcome to your August 2020 general reading. So I won't be doing mid-month readings in August. It's a very busy month and there's just other things that need to be happening. But I think most people in August live that way, and I'm not going to do the mid-months, okay? It's that sort of season that too many other things are going on. So you pulled two Lenormands. You got exactly the same as Leo. You got the mountain, then the four-leaf clover. So we're obviously in Leo season. Leo forms a trine to Aries. So it's obviously the natural fire time. So natural fire time is about expression, soul expression, bringing things forward. And August is definitely a month to make action. After August, things are going to slow down again. So sort of anything you want to get off the ground, August is a great month. Now the mountain always has a feeling of sort of overwhelm. There's too much to deal with. But then you get the four-leaf clover. So these are very much the hero's journey, meeting obstacles and overcoming them. So that is the story of evolution, and how we respond to those stories is basically it's up to us. Our destiny is made by how we respond to what happens to us. And being an Aries, you want to respond in that warrior way, don't you? That warrior energy. I seen and I overcame and I got the four-leaf clover. So beautiful energy. So let's find out where the cards have all gone mad. Okay, when the cards are very like that, there might be specific messages coming through. I can't do anything about it. If it's what the cards want to do, it's what the cards need to do. So there might be someone watching who really needs a message. And I find when the cards go all jumpy and they're still doing it. That's what's going on. So what's going on? So behind you, Five of Wands, Head and Heart. Now don't worry about the Five of Wands. A lot of people give the Five of Wands a hard time. It's a card of change. And that's how we become the victor. That's how we get to the Six of Wands. Success and triumph is through the energy of the Five of Wands. But it's one of these cards that are pushing change. And sometimes with the moon, there might be a resistance to making that change. Because the moon represents our security needs, the sameness, familiar energy. And the Five of Wands in Aries often desires change and pioneering. So there might be a little bit of a conflict between these two energies, about the desire to push forward and the desire to have the energy of the moon. And the moon likes sameness. It likes its patterns. Okay. So what you want is a Two of Swords. The gift is the Wheel, yeah. Four-leaf clover. The challenge is the Fool. Now, you're not going to be able to see the cards. So if you give me a minute, I'll move them. Relationships, you've got the Libra. The Justice card, which is your opposite. Showing up a lot, the Libra card. Money and work, you've got the Seven of Swords. So there might be some sort of desire to make a change in your work life. I find Seven of Swords is a little bit like that, sort of a little bit like the Five of Wands, a little bit not moving forward, you're not where you were, but you're not where you want to be. So Nine of Swords in a soul position. So I think this is a little bit, I think there's a desire for change, by the way. And give me a minute, I'm clarifying two cards. Now don't worry, you get the King of Cups with the Death card. And I will clarify that again. connecting card between these two. And this is about change. It's with the Eight of Wands. So some of you might be moving house, by the way. Relocating. Eight of Wands is a card of travel, relocation, and moving forward. And with the Death card and the King of Cups can be a person, by the way, but it can also be about peace and tranquility. And the Death card is about shredding an old skin and moving forwards in your life. Okay, so I wouldn't worry. I get a funny feeling this is about what you do to make a living. Can I move it so you can see the cards? Because when you get cards like the Nine of Swords showing up, it means you're in a process that's not complete itself yet. So it completes in the 10. And I cannot help thinking this is about work and money. Because everything else seems okay to me. And what these cards would imply, because of these cards, if I make a change, then I'll lose the ground under my feet. You know, a classic example is being in a job because of the paycheck. And if you make a decision to make a change, then you're leaving behind the security of the known and going into the unknown. Yeah. For some people, that's maybe really, really, really showing up here. And then when you get the Death card with the Eight of Wands and the King of Cups, that's most definitely making a decision to make a change. And there's no point forcing people into change, because, I mean, sometimes change comes that we can't control, yeah, obviously. But there's some change that we can make in a way that we're really peaceful about. And it's much more organic change. But I think some of you are wrestling with desiring to make a change. The Fool's a challenge, which is the new beginning. It's the 0. It's the blank slate. But a lot of people don't like living with a blank slate. A lot of people like the security of the noun, which is the Moon card. And with the Five of Wands, I've already got a feeling there's a push between going into new adventures and keeping things the same. And I would say that is playing out. Actually, it seems to be mostly money and work it's playing out. For some people, it might be a little bit different. Do I think you're going to make the change? Yes. Basically, Aries, I do. Not only I know because of the tarot readings, but because of the astrology and what we're all being pushed into. I think there's going to be times of great change. August will be one of them. And then it might not be till January next year where the opportunity comes around again. And some of us are facing that decision. Do I make the change now or do I put it off until then? There's no right or wrong. And when you've got the King of Cups supporting you, gosh, I'm trying to put myself in those cards, because the King of Cups, it can be a person, probably a Scorpio, the Death card. But it's also the sense of being at peace, sitting on the ocean and not drowning in it with fear. But what you want is a Two of Swords. So either you want this peace, or, see, the Two of Swords is the card of peace. It can be about putting off making a decision, and boy, do I relate to that one. What's the Two of Swords about? Queen of Swords. That's about the truth. And it's funny because the truth shall set you free. But I think a lot of this is going on around your work and your money and your sense of stability. Because in 2020, money has become linked to survival. So when we want to make changes in that area of our life, it brings up an awful lot of fear. But this is about being in the truth. That's what the Queen of Swords rules. She rules the truth. She's got the Tower card. Aquarius. Now the gift is the Wheel of Fortune, which is a beautiful gift to have, and the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is someone who's overcame the Five of Wands, which is about, shall I stay, shall I go, shall I jump, shall I stay the same? It's pretty much one of the soul's dilemmas, Aries, is between change and keeping things the same. Yeah. I would say you're definitely, for you, who this reading's for, it might not be for everyone, you're definitely going to make your change. Actually, I guarantee you. Because the Five of Wands is angst. And the Six of Wands is overcoming the angst and taking that risk. Okay, so very, very beautiful. The Fool is the challenge. So maybe it's going to be a process because of these cards you've got here. It might be the whole of August that you go through it. And honestly, Aries, you're going to have to trust me that I'm working with so many people who are in this change energy. But you know what's worse are the ones who are denying the need for change. And maybe there's a little bit of a part of that, but the Queen of Swords is now, the truth shall set me free. The Fool being the challenge is about the new start. It's about the new beginning. It's about going forward into the world to pioneer. Yeah. The Justice card in your relationships. What's that doing here? Tell me what the Justice card is doing in your relationships. It rules Libra. So it's about self and other. That learning that great balancing act. It's with the Seven of Wands. I don't dislike the Seven of Wands. A lot of people say, oh my God, you're keeping people out. It is a card of boundaries. Do I think boundaries are a bad thing? No. I think they're a bad thing if the boundaries are walls that deny all connection. But look at the image. That's not what's going on here. Anything else in Libra, in Uncle, you're Libra, Aries energy around relationships? I mean, one card. So I don't get any more clarity. I think this is about work. Relationships don't look, the Magician card, so all the aces, the Libra card with the Seven of Wands. It's almost like a lot of your energy, now this is very, very common, Aries, so don't go into bad. A lot of your energy, a lot of the energy of the world, Mars is in Aries, as you know. So a lot of people's energy is in their Aries. Aries is the impulse to create something new. Yeah. And it would seem to me a lot of your energy isn't totally focused on relationships this month. It's very much focused maybe particularly this energy, because there's nothing bad going on here. It's just, it's almost like, so I'm going to give you an example. My relationship card for other people's energy was the Magician this week. And they're going forward doing their own thing. Going, oh, I want to do this next. I've got this to sort out. That's what the Magician and the Seven of Wands is showing up here. Is a lot of your relationship energy is not quite as relational. Is that a negative? No, it's not. Because there's always a reason. And at the end of the day, Aries, you can call me whatever you want. There's a perfection to what's happening in the world. And a lot of us have been made ready for what's to come. And so if our energies have been harnessed in a different way, honour it. Honour it. You don't shut the door, but you just honour the need to go forward and do your own thing for a little while. Seven of Swords, Nine of Swords. This is about wanting to make a change, but being a little bit panicky. I think it's because the Seven of Swords and your money. Again, the gift is the Ace of Swords, which is clarity. And when you have clarity, like the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords, it cuts through these shadow cards. And they're only shadow cards because the way that we get to a conclusion is always through doubt and confusion. There's nothing wrong with us, Aries, any of us. It's almost like we've got patterns that we go through to get to the opposite side. A little bit like the mountain, to get to the 4-leaf clover. And a lot of it is in your mind at the moment. So your mind's probably trying to work out how it's all going to work out. That is a process. But we don't think anxious, we feel anxious. So sometimes by feeling, by slowing everything down, and by trusting your Aries impulse. And the Aries impulse is that desire to go forward, to investigate, to try new, to explore what's not been explored before, to be a pioneer. That seems to be what's going on. And you're going to do it. Look at the 3 cards you pulled out together. So what I am going to, and I'm not doing any bypassing here, the King of Cups is about making change, but very, very peaceful, complete acceptance of what is. Yeah, that's it. Acceptance of what is, peacefulness. And the Death of the Eight of Wands, sorry, is almost like throwing off the old. The Eight of Wands has gone flying. And so the Death card and then the Eight of Wands is, okay, that's now complete. And off I go, okay? So off I go doesn't have to be about physical travel. It can be intention, setting your arrows on the direction that you want to go forward in. Since about January or February, a lot of my readings have been about when to make change. And I've said August or January next year to everyone, okay? And August is a month that you're making change. Now, feeling fear around making that change is a natural process. We don't get rid of it by hitting it on the head. We get rid of it just by accepting it's there. And that sometimes when we pioneer new chapters, it means we need to let go of an old one. And none of us like that part of it. None of us like that part of stepping, especially if it's around, say, a job, and they once provided your security, and now it's, oh my God, I'm stepping forth to do it on myself. There's a natural anxiety, and you can't get rid of it. What I say is invite it for tea. I don't have, I believe emotions have their own intelligence. We honour them. But you're going to act anyhow. And you're going to make some sort of big change. You're going to overcome this trepidation of entering into the unknown. And I wish you so much success. I sort of wish I was doing mid-monthlies now, but I really, you're going to have to trust me, Aries. I have got so much of this going on for myself as well, that I've made a decision that I need to just, I mean, I still do my private work, obviously, but the rest of it is just, oh my gosh, I need to get stuff into motion. Yeah. And that's why. Do I feel fear? Absolutely. Anyhow, Aries, that was a real pleasure to do that reading. I really enjoyed it. Much love. Bye.